Good evening, I'm Adrienne Arsenault. Andrew is away tonight. The little boy, orphaned in last week's attack in London, Ontario, has left the hospital.
It's important that we see that justice is served and justice is done.
As the man accused in his family's killing faces upgraded terror charges. Also tonight, another top military commander is out of his role after an exclusive golf game with a retired top soldier under investigation.
I just think it's a brazen display of invincibility.
Those fighting sexual misconduct say trust has been broken again. Making sense of the risk posed by the Delta variant.
We should really focus on making sure that people are getting their second shots as quickly as possible.
Plus,
runs good, but I can't drive it.
stuck in the passenger seat, the tens of thousands of Canadians waiting for driving tests delayed. This is The National. For a community gripped by grief and anger, a small moment of relief today. The 9-year-old boy who survived what police say was a hate-filled attack last weekend is now out of the hospital. This is what and who was taken from Fayez Afzal in one horrific moment. His sister, parents, and grandmother, his family. Today, the man accused in that killing had his charges upgraded to include terrorism. That is something many have been demanding, but a rare move by prosecutors in Canada. Tonight, how hard it will be to prove those terrorism charges and what they tell us about the accused. But Thomas Degla begins with the attack's young survivor and a life changed forever.
After unspeakable sadness, a glimmer of hope. 9-year-old Fayez Afzal has been released from hospital, badly injured but now recovering in the care of his relatives, with his sister, parents, and grandmother all killed in last week's attack.
We're all just worried about psychologically how he might be and the long road ahead from that perspective.
The teddy bears have been piling up, a sign of support from a community for a child who's lost so much.
This has been a very, very difficult situation for the whole family, and especially for Fayez. And so they want to give him his space that he needs to recover.
From the courthouse in London, a different kind of welcome news for the community. Federal and provincial prosecutors agreeing to pursue this case as terrorism.
It may end up influencing his ability to ever be released.
Nathaniel Veltman showed no emotion as he appeared over Zoom while the charges were read out. He's facing 4 counts of first-degree murder and 1 of attempted murder. Asked in court, "Those are your charges, sir. Do you understand that?" He calmly replied, "Yes, ma'am."
I think for a long time, Muslims have been on the other side, where we've been accused many times falsely of terrorism.
For a conviction, prosecutors will have to show the attack was ideologically driven and meant to intimidate the public or a segment of the public. Canada's Anti-Terrorism Act was introduced 2 decades ago after 9/11. Rarely used to prosecute anti-Muslim violence, authorities declined to charge the Quebec mosque attacker as a terrorist.
It is very rare in terms of anybody who's motivated by ideology that's something other than for Al-Qaeda or the Islamic State.
In London, where the attack spread fear and sadness, they didn't wait to call this terrorism.
It's important that we see that justice is served and justice is done, and that we call this incident what it is.
And so, Thomas, where does the case go from here?
Well, the accused is expected back in court in 1 week's time. Today, he appeared without a lawyer, did not enter a plea, and for the time being, he remains in custody. Now, keep in mind, experts say it will be more difficult to prosecute this case as a terrorist offense, though they say it is necessary. We'll take more evidence, but it is necessary to show symbolically that the laws of the land should be applied to everyone the same way, Adrienne.
Indeed. Thomas, thank you.
You're welcome.
In Saskatchewan, 2 people have been charged in connection with the death of an RCMP officer over the weekend. Constable Shelby Patton was killed Saturday morning after being struck by a stolen vehicle during a traffic stop east of Regina. The 26-year-old had been with the RCMP for just over 6 years. A man and a woman from Winnipeg face multiple charges, including manslaughter, theft, and possession of stolen property. Another major blow to the leadership of Canada's military tonight. The second in command, Lieutenant General Mike Rouleau, is resigning after news that he played golf with former top soldier Jonathan Vance. Vance is currently under investigation for sexual misconduct, which he denies. But it's all raising questions about trust, judgment, and a potential conflict of interest. Ashley Burke has our story tonight.
It's an exclusive venue for the military elite, and for two senior leaders, it's where they played an increasingly costly round of golf. One publicly apologized, another has resigned.
I was surprised and disappointed by this.
The deputy minister said she learned over the weekend about the golf game between the head of the Navy, Vice Admiral Craig Baines, the military's second in command, Lieutenant General Mike Rouleau, and former Chief of Defense Staff General Jonathan Vance, who is under military police investigation for claims of sexual misconduct that he denies.
It shows very poor judgment and sends entirely the wrong message to the whole country.
In a statement, Rouleau says he invited Vance to play golf to ensure his wellness. I understand how such an activity could lead some to perceive a potential conflict of interest and controversy, given the current context, but nothing can be further from the truth. For this, I am sorry.
I just think it's a brazen display of invincibility.
Rouleau, as Vice Chief of Defense Staff, is the boss of the military police, and experts say he has the power and authority to intervene in investigations.
I think this is an example where that credibility and the likelihood of an impartial investigation is really next to nothing.
The top military police officer said Rouleau has not gotten involved in any cases, including Vance's. But for Paula McDonald, who has been trying to have her sexual misconduct case taken seriously for 6 years, she says it's disappointing, but not surprising.
It's showing that their priorities are with supporting people who have been accused of sexual misconduct as opposed to the victims of the sexual misconduct.
There is zero leadership from Justin Trudeau and Minister Sajjan.
The opposition is now trying to put Defence Minister Harjit Sajjan into the chain of responsibility.
I blame directly the Minister of Defence and Justin Trudeau, the Prime Minister.
So, Ashley, what happens to Rouleau now that he's resigning?
Rouleau says that he's leaving the military, but he hasn't said when, and it's also not clear if he'll receive his full pension.
Okay, so there is also another high-profile military leader making news tonight. What's the latest with Major General Danny Fortin?
You'll remember that Fortin was leading Canada's vaccine rollout. He was removed from his post last month, and just today, his lawyers declared that he was challenging the federal government for taking him out of that post. So why did the government do that? Well, he was under a military police investigation for an allegation of sexual misconduct dating back more than 30 years. His lawyers filed a judicial review arguing that there was political meddling in his case, writing the decision was arbitrary, not in the public interest, and made solely for the personal and political gain of the Ministers of Health and National Defense and the Prime Minister. We reached out to those offices tonight, and spokespeople said it would be inappropriate to comment while the legal matter is ongoing.
Okay, we know you will stay on top of it. Ashley, thank you.
Thank you.
So let's turn now to Canada's COVID-19 story. Still a long way to go, but every day the situation gets a little bit brighter. Again today, cases dropping, vaccination rates soaring, including those fully vaccinated, as more become eligible for second shots. All of this is leading more provinces to continue to ease restrictions. But with new concerns about the dangerous Delta variant, several provincial health officials warned today we are not out of the woods yet. Canada need only look at the UK to see what could happen if the Delta variant takes off here. More Britons are getting sick, more of them are young, more of them at risk of ending up in hospital. But as Vic Adopia explains, Canada still has time to defend itself.
Drinks and popcorn begin flowing again tomorrow for moviegoers in BC as several provinces lift more public health restrictions this week, even as they keep tabs on a new, more virulent strain of the coronavirus.
And we have had some of the Delta variant. Particularly, there was a long-term care home where we've had an outbreak, and we've seen it being transmitted in a couple of areas in the province.
Officials here are watching the UK, where the Delta variant has now taken over as the dominant strain, driving a spike in average weekly cases and throwing cold water on Britain's reopening plans by a month.
I think it is sensible to wait just a little longer.
New data from Scotland underlines the concern. The variant doubles the risk of hospital admission. Most were young, unvaccinated adults, but some had just one vaccine dose.
Infections are increasing hospitalizations, and hence pausing the relaxation of lockdown measures is entirely appropriate because it gives a greater window of opportunity to get more people vaccinated.
It's a concern in Canada, which used the same strategy as the UK, cover as many people with one shot as fast as possible.
It was always going to be an experiment in terms of delaying the second dose. Now I think we should just look at the data for what it is. And as supplies increase, we should really focus on making sure that people are getting their second shots as quickly as possible.
If not, health officials worry Delta could still become the dominant strain in some places, and that's changing the calculus of herd immunity.
We used to say 75 to 80% vaccine coverage, but again, with Delta, we're not sure. Certainly the best is to have everybody vaccinated and everybody vaccinated twice.
So far, only some 13% of Canadians have had both shots. Vic Adopia, CBC News, Toronto.
And more news on Delta from the UK tonight. Researchers say the variant has changed reports of the most common symptoms, including a headache and a runny nose. Those are new. So it's a good time to bring in Dr. Lenore Saxinger. She's an infectious diseases specialist in Edmonton. So Dr. Saxinger, what concerns you about the changing symptoms, and what sort of things should people be watching out for?
So I think it's important because, there's confirmatory data needed, but people have to keep a very low threshold of suspicion for COVID infection in order to be able to protect others. So even generalized symptoms like headache, there's been some reports of things like more hearing loss, maybe related to more ear plugging, upper respiratory tract infection, and isolate and get tested to be able to protect others adequately against this strain as we figure out what the pattern is going to be like in our community.
I guess because it's always evolving. And given that, how effective do we know the vaccines are against this variant? Is there any different protection, when people mix and match?
Right. So there's good protection against infection. There's very good protection against hospitalization for both AstraZeneca and Pfizer two-dose series. There's no clinical data on AstraZeneca plus an mRNA vaccine, but immune data from lab studies does suggest a better response, which might translate eventually into higher effectiveness. And that's something that will have to be watched very carefully to help people plan what to do.
Okay, as with everything, Dr. Lenore Saxinger in Edmonton, thank you.
Thanks.
So as Vic mentioned in his story, British Columbia is set to lift more COVID restrictions.
Tomorrow, we will begin step 2 of our restart plan. This means we're going to be seeing more people that we care about, visiting more places that we want to go and see.
And so starting tomorrow in BC, recreational travel is back province-wide. Team sports and group fitness classes can resume, and outdoor gatherings of up to 50 people will be allowed. Travelers from Manitoba and Quebec will soon be free to cross the border into Ontario. The province says it will not extend the restriction on non-essential travel between the provinces, which is set to expire on Wednesday at midnight. Alberta's reopening plans are directly tied to vaccination rates. If it hits a key threshold, all the remaining restrictions just go away. And now, like neighboring Manitoba, it is gambling that a lottery worth millions will help it get there. Aaron Collins explores whether that will work.
Colorado's newest vaccine millionaire unveiled the second winner in the state's COVID vaccine lottery.
This is all emotional. As you guys can imagine, I'm super excited that I won the $1 million, but COVID's a real thing.
A unique gamble taking off north of the border. Proponents argue $1 million prizes are far cheaper than dealing with COVID patients in hospital. Just the 270 people in Alberta hospitals today could cost the province more than $6 million. Alberta is betting that they're right, announcing details of its own lottery today.
We need everyone who's on the fence or those who want to get a shot but have just been putting it off for a while to get their dose now.
Vaccinated Albertans now are eligible for 3 $1 million draws. The goal to have 70% of those eligible vaccinated this week. If that happens, the real prize is a full reopening of the province. In Calgary, news of the lottery spread quickly.
I'm all for it. Anything that can encourage people to get vaccinated, I'm here for it. So it's good.
But will it work? Experts say it might, motivating fence sitters to commit.
It's crunch time. You know, we need to get 2, 3, 4, 5% more people vaccinated. So every percentage point matters. And so that's the cohort we're aimed at. It's not going to fix everything. We're talking about moving the dial.
Still, despite the potential for riches, not everyone is rushing to enter this lottery.
I'm not a very lucky person, so I don't think I'll ever win anyways. I just want to wait for the vaccine a little bit. I'm just afraid.
The hope is that she is an outlier. About 50,000 more Albertans need to get their first shot this week for the province to fully open by Canada Day. Aaron Collins, CBC News, Calgary.
One more note on vaccines tonight. Canada is set to receive a whopping 9.5 million doses this week, the bulk of them from Moderna. Ottawa says Moderna will deliver 7.1 million doses in 2 separate shipments. Another 2.4 million Pfizer doses round out this week's total. The federal government announced today plans to address 2 of the calls to action in the Truth and Reconciliation Report. As Olivia Stefanovic shows us, some are encouraged by the announcements. Others say Ottawa is still moving too slowly.
Colleen Heal Cardinal has lived her life with a name she says doesn't reflect who she is.
Technically, it looks like my family comes from England. So it's completely erased my identity as an Indigenous person and my connection to my kin and my clan and my territory.
Now Ottawa is helping her and other Indigenous people recover their traditional identities.
It's Wechukan, means helper.
Waiving administrative fees for up to 5 years on official documents.
Our names are among the first things we receive. They're individualized, unique. They speak to our past.
The federal government is also appointing an Indigenous Languages Commissioner.
For all too long, our Indigenous languages have been silenced, oppressed, and stigmatized.
Our senators. And last week, the Senate passed proposed legislation that would change the citizenship oath to recognize treaties with Indigenous peoples.
These are calls to action that could have been completed a long time ago.
The moves bring Ottawa closer to fulfilling the Truth and Reconciliation Commission's 94 recommendations, but there are still dozens incomplete.
Crown Indigenous Relations has constantly said that they're making progress, but we're not seeing that on the ground.
The NDP is demanding the government urgently address the TRC's child welfare recommendations and drop its litigation against a human rights tribunal order requiring Ottawa compensate First Nations children for harm suffered in foster care.
So on the day that they are in court against Indigenous kids, I think it just stinks of hypocrisy.
For this 60s Scoop survivor,
because I would have grown up as Anne-Marie Thrasher had I not been taken away.
Regaining traditional identity brings her one step closer to reconnecting with her mother, who suffered through residential school.
One part of the bond that would be healed again.
A healing that begins with a name reclaimed. Olivia Stefanovic, CBC News, Ottawa.
The Prime Minister was in Brussels today for a meeting of NATO countries where the guest list was a topic of discussion, as Russia's aggression against Ukraine revived talk about expanding the alliance. But as Evan Dyer explains, NATO members are walking a very fine line.
Our relationship with Russia is at its lowest point since the Cold War.
If the enemy of my enemy is my friend, that ought to be good news for Ukraine, which has been trying to join NATO for years. Stephen Harper first sponsored it 13 years ago. And the Trudeau government has also offered support, sending Canadian troops to train Ukrainians against this. Russia massed over 100,000 troops on Ukraine's borders this spring, prompting new urgent appeals from Ukraine to come under NATO's umbrella. But it doesn't look like happening anytime soon. With the front line running right through Ukraine and Russian troops inside the country, there's no way to bring Ukraine into NATO without risking a major war with Russia. That essentially means that NATO has run out of room to grow. It already has 30 members, including 3 former Soviet republics. In Latvia, Canada commands NATO's forces. And others that want in, like Georgia, have little chance of persuading NATO to open its doors. because the goal now is to keep tensions with Russia from escalating further. So Canadian officials say they've supported Ukraine, but now won't commit to back its bid to join NATO.
We can't be naive about Putin's intentions. We have to figure out how to engage with each other while still being coordinated and standing up for our principles and values.
U.S. President Joe Biden is preparing to meet Vladimir Putin on Wednesday. Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky had pleaded to meet him first, but the White House said no. But today, Biden offered this reassurance.
We will do all that we can to put Ukraine in the position to be able to continue to resist Russian physical aggression.
Today, Zelensky said that Biden also promised him his country won't be used as a bargaining chip in that Biden-Putin summit, while NATO offered more support and more training, which could mean new commitments for Canada. It suggests that Ukraine isn't being abandoned, but also that there's no appetite to risk a war with Russia by letting it into the club. Evan Dyer, CBC News, Brussels.
Biden and Putin agree on one thing. Relations between the two countries are at a low point. Later, we will look at how that sets the stage for their meeting and what that means for the rest of us. But first,
7 in a row.
Canadian football is back for a new season, but will fans be back in the stands?
They need to make that right.
The pandemic slams the brakes on getting a driver's license, where that leaves tens of thousands waiting for a test.
I had to give my 2 weeks notice at my job.
A tiny bump cost him his Olympic dream in Rio.
Dunfee has now made a move, and a little bump between the two.
Canadian race walker Evan Dunfee on what to expect in Tokyo.
We're playing by a whole different set of rules this time.
We're back in 2. Welcome back. Well, there was some good news for Canadian football fans today. The CFL has announced it's back. Cameron McIntosh on the plan and whether the league can attract enough fans.
When we all last saw a CFL game, the Winnipeg Blue Bombers were hoisting their first Grey Cup in 29 years. While off the field, the league was in financial trouble even before the pandemic sidelined it for a whole season.
Being disappointed in 2020 just doubled and then redoubled again our resolve to get back on the field in 2021.
Now, League Commissioner Randy Ambrosie says the CFL will be back with fans.
We are hopeful as a league that as Canadians get vaccinated, government's going to let us gather.
The plan is for a shorter 14-week season, starting in August, ending with the Grey Cup in December, outdoors in Hamilton. But how many fans, who qualifies, and when will be up to provincial authorities.
It's a little bit away, but we are working actively on what that's going to look like.
The challenge is how do we ensure that there aren't people mixed in there who have not received vaccine?
Even before the pandemic, the CFL was struggling. Then, as other leagues were playing without fans, the CFL, relying on ticket sales, couldn't get a season going, disappointing core fans.
So they need to make that right. But the other thing that they have to do is they have to find a way to reach out to fans that are not CFL fans.
Those who are fans are excited to get back. Take Edmonton, where there's buzz around a new team name.
Because of how big it is, Commonwealth, and the way the seating is laid out and stuff, there's lots of ways that we can do it safely. And so, yeah, I'm super excited to get back in.
I think it's definitely overdue, and people are excited to get out and see some sports live.
Ambrosie hopes to see that excitement and attendance build right up to the Grey Cup.
Wouldn't it be great to have a national celebration, the stadium just rocking with fans?
Until then, there are plenty of unknowns, variants, health orders, even hesitancy, all threaten to run interference on a CFL season already certain to be like no other. Cameron McIntosh, CBC News, Winnipeg.
This pandemic has disrupted so much of our lives, and tonight we're looking at how it put the brakes on driver's licenses, too. There are testing backlogs all over the country, potentially in the hundreds of thousands. As Greg Rasmussen tells us, some people are waiting months.
Runs good, can't drive it.
19-year-old Caleb Siemens desperately wants his license so he can hit the highway in his truck.
I bought it last year for $2,500.
But for now, it's parked because he can't do his road test until November.
It's such an inconvenience that I don't have my license. I can't go to town if I need something from town. Kind of stuck here in this valley. I rely on neighbors picking me up and driving me to work.
But with his family moving to another town, he can no longer count on others for a ride to work.
I had to give my 2 weeks notice at my job.
His local driving testing center is one of many across the country swamped with requests. In Saskatchewan, the current wait is about 8 weeks. Alberta did have a backlog, but after privatizing road tests in January, they've eliminated it. In Nova Scotia, about 4,000 people are waiting for tests. And then there's Ontario.
It's just crazy online, trying to get it through online, so I'm trying to see if I can get it through. Done here today.
The province's testing centers have just reopened after a COVID shutdown that canceled 420,000 bookings.
It just kept on delayed. So if I don't get it now, I don't think I'll ever get it.
The number of new drivers is also accelerating, forcing Ontario and BC to hire hundreds of new examiners.
People want to get their license and they want to get out on the road now more than they ever really have before.
In BC, a surge in applications has added to the problem caused by COVID-related slowdowns.
We've hired 80 additional new driver examiners here in BC, and we are constantly recruiting and training more driver examiners.
But thousands remain stuck in neutral.
Hopefully I get a job somewhere locally and someone can drive me there. I'll bike.
Relying on other means until the backlog clears. Greg Rasmussen, CBC News, Vancouver.
So hard. Joe Biden will have his first presidential meeting with Vladimir Putin Wednesday, but the two are far from strangers.
I said, look in your eyes, and I don't think you have a soul. And looked back at me and said, we understand each other.
Up next, we'll look at what could happen this time. And later, a small town with a big green dream. Could this be the first in Canada to rely entirely on renewable energy? Welcome back. After spending the weekend surrounded by allies in Europe, U.S. President Joe Biden is now preparing for a summit with Russian leader Vladimir Putin.
He's bright, he's tough, and I have found that he is as they say when he used to play ball, a worthy adversary.
The meeting between Biden and Putin on Wednesday comes amid escalating tensions between Moscow and the West. Susan Ormison looks at the relationship and why there isn't much optimism ahead of this Geneva summit.
Joe Biden, Vladimir Putin, no strangers on the world stage. 10 years ago, meeting with more optimism.
The President and I agree 100% on the need to continue to establish closer and closer relationships with Russia.
There is no chemistry between the two men. History tells us that in relations between Russia and the United States, respect has always been more important than affinity.
Putin has faced off with 5 U.S. presidents, each trying to unlock the Russian leader's psyche. George W. Bush playing nice, if naive.
I looked the man in the eye. I found him to be very straightforward and trustworthy. I was able to get a sense of his soul.
Biden playing up the opposite.
I said, look in your eyes, and I don't think you have a soul. And looked back at me and said, we understand each other.
A little gift. The Obama-Clinton administration famously tried for a Russian reset with Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov.
We want to reset our relationship. And
let's do it together.
So we will do it together, okay?
Which failed miserably as Russia invaded Crimea, threatened eastern Ukraine, and interfered in the 2016 U.S. election.
Biden has been outspoken.
Charles Kupchan advised Obama on European affairs at the National Security Council.
There's no appetite for a reset on either side. I would say that Biden wants to lower the temperature. He wants to make the relationship less poisonous.
Trump's arrival, applauded by the Kremlin, cultivated a bromance with Putin, reaching a zenith at the Helsinki summit, where Trump publicly doubted that Russia interfered in the election.
I hold both countries responsible. I think that the United States has been foolish. I think we've all been foolish.
Putin liked Trump in part because Trump was trouble and divisive and disruptive. And Putin likes it when the West is a mess.
Relations with Russia have now sunk so low, ambassadors have left, diplomacy is near frozen. Cyber attacks, military buildup on Ukraine's border, and crackdowns on opposition leaders have spiked tensions between Washington and Moscow.
Biden can be tough on Putin. He might be very critical of Russia. The question for Putin is whether Biden is a good investment.
Republican critics say the summit is Putin's reward for bad behavior. But Masha Lippman in Moscow says the meeting is crucial.
I think the relations are at a very dangerous stage. I don't think it should be about rewarding or not rewarding. It should be about the world's security. This is what is at stake.
In advance of the summit, Biden is talking tough.
So you know Vladimir Putin. You think he's a killer? Mm-hmm. I do.
Putin setting his own red lines, hoping, he said Friday,
there will not be any impulse-based movements on behalf of the sitting U.S. president.
Biden's calculation is talk is better than not, but there will be no joint news conference.
This is not a contest about who can do better in front of a press conference or try to embarrass each other. It's about making myself very clear what the conditions are to get a better relationship are with Russia. We're not looking for conflict.
Biden goes into this meeting with eyes wide open, and that on key issues, European security, Ukraine, cybersecurity, hacking, Navalny and human rights, he is unlikely to get Putin to budge.
So they'll meet on Wednesday in Geneva, a lofty setting for a summit of earthbound goals. At best, maybe common ground on strategic security, maybe climate change and the pandemic.
I think it's a good sign that the two leaders are meeting, and even if they talk past each other on most issues.
Wary warriors looking to gain something but lose nothing. Each will have their eye on their own capitals. Biden under pressure to put Putin in his place and open a dialogue. Putin will want to tell the U.S. again to back off his domestic politics. Not a smooth path for either. Susan Ormiston, CBC News, Washington.
Up next, a Canadian Olympic hopeful on the added challenge of preparing for Tokyo.
It's a really tough thing that I reckon with in terms of kind of being an intruder almost in Tokyo and not being wanted there.
Canadian race walker Evan Dunfee on losing his medal in Rio and what he's learned since. Olympic race walker Evan Dunfee is at the top of his game. This weekend, he set another Canadian record, finishing the 10,000-meter event in 38 minutes, 39.72 seconds, beating his own best time by nearly 15 seconds. Dunfee also holds the national record in the 50-kilometer race walk. So flying high as he prepares for next month's Tokyo Olympics. But the road there has been anything but easy. Andrew spoke with Dunfee about the games, overcoming losses, and what it takes to train for a grueling sport.
Evan Dunfee, not a household name, but 5 years ago in Rio, he was all any Canadian could talk about.
And Dunfee has now made a move, and a little bump between the two, almost a body check.
That bump, with Dunfee on the verge of a bronze medal, was devastating. And the drama was just beginning.
Dunfee back in 4th overall.
Canada challenged the bump and won. Dunfee would take bronze, but Japan appealed, and incredibly, Dunfee was bumped again, down to 4th place.
Hiroki and I getting tangled up was completely incidental and unintentional.
He could have kept fighting, but it wasn't how he wanted to win. And besides, there are entirely new battles to fight today, in a sport perpetually in search of the respect it deserves. So, we sat down to talk about what it takes to be the best and why Tokyo may present the toughest challenge yet in keeping Dunfee's race-walking dream alive.
Evan, very nice to meet you here.
Yes, I'm glad to be here.
Okay, so let's get right down to basics here. Race walking. I feel like this must be one of the most underappreciated Olympic sports, mostly because people don't really have a grasp of what's involved and why it's impressive. So can you give me the essence of race walking?
For sure. I like to describe race walking simply as running with rules. We go incredibly long distances. We go further than a marathon. So 50K is 8 kilometers further than a marathon. And we have to do that while maintaining this technique and these rules.
Rules like you have to be walking at all times. There are specifics, right down to how straight your leading leg has to be, and of course, 1 foot on the ground at all times. But it's no less grueling.
I can get my heart rate up to 195 beats a minute through race walking, so you can still work just as hard. Just because you're confined by the technical requirements, you go a little bit slower than you would if you were just running.
It would be tempting to think of race walking as mainly a solo sport, but I think a lot of people would be surprised to know just how much interplay there is between athletes.
Dunfee is really hitting his stride in sensational fashion here.
I was in Rio, and I remember your 50K race that year very well, but I was surprised to learn some of the details that happened before that now infamous bump, right? That even when you were passing your Japanese rival, there were some mind games going on.
I had caught up to that third place athlete, Hiroki Arai from Japan, and he was really suffering, and I knew that, okay, like I want to go flying past him. Like I want him to like feel me go by him, feel the wind as I pass him. And unfortunately, when you're 3 hours and 38 minutes into a race and neither of you can walk in a straight line, it wasn't the best tactic, but the rest is a little bit of history.
So speaking of learning from that history, tactically, when you look back at that, is there anything instructive about that moment?
Absolutely. So funnily enough, in 2019 at our World Championships in Doha, it's the exact same thing. I caught up to the third place athlete, and this time gave that athlete a wide berth and just went flying right by and came home to that bronze medal.
Bronze medalist representing Canada, Evan Dunfee.
So let me ask you this then. What should we, as Canadians, expect from you, Evan Dunfee, in Tokyo?
Well, I guess in Sapporo, I'd hope that Canadians would expect to see me leave it all on the line.
That distinction is an important one. Dunphy's race will be nowhere near Tokyo. It's been moved about 8 hours north by train to cooler weather.
And that's something that kind of ticks you off, right?
Yeah, my correction was mostly tongue-in-cheek because it is something that bugs me. Having my event be taken away from Tokyo, where it's the citizens of Tokyo who are paying billions and billions of dollars for this thing. Having these 5 events, the 3 race walks and the 2 marathons moved 800 kilometers north, where they can't be a part of that, it really ticks me off.
The nature of this pandemic dramatically changes the equation no matter how you look at it. Even if the race were to happen in Tokyo, the kind of thing that you're imagining and that we've seen in previous Olympics may not have happened anyway, right? No fans in the streets.
You're absolutely right, is that we're playing by a whole different set of rules this time, and even if we were in Tokyo, it's more than likely that it would be a closed event and not accessible to the masses anyways, and that's really hard to reckon with for me, and especially with you look at the polls coming out from Tokyo and how the majority of the population doesn't want us there. So it's a really tough thing that I reckon with in terms of kind of being an intruder almost in Tokyo and not being wanted there.
Not a good feeling when you're just months away from hopping on a nearly 7,000 kilometer flight. But there's more. The IOC has decided this will be the last we see of Dunphy's best event, the 50K. It's cutting it from the program because there's no women's version of it. But skeptics like Dunfee think there's more to it.
So the IOC have decided that 50K isn't worth keeping around, it's too long. Part of me thinks they don't like that it's a free event because they can't make money off of it.
But do you feel conflicted then as well about the Olympics writ large and maybe particularly the people who run them?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Seeing the impact the Olympic Games have, it's not all good. I think the Olympic Games do create a ton of value, but at the same time, this last year has been a moment for me to really reflect on the negative impacts the Olympics have on marginalized communities, on just the cost that's left behind. There's something that needs to change, and that's another thing that I grapple with.
Right, because you're still going, right, to these Olympics, but I'm listening to the words that you're saying, and I'm wondering, are you grappling with the idea of whether you continue to be part of the Olympic movement in subsequent editions of the Summer Games?
Purely selfishly, no. And I have to admit that it is a purely selfish thing. Like, this is what I've dreamt of since I was 10 years old. I want to be the best in the world at, at this admittedly niched, strange event, but it's the thing that I've dedicated my life to, and I want to continue to pursue that and see just how good I can be. So from that perspective, I'm pretty hell bent on going. I do wonder what a more positive, equitable Olympics could look like in the future.
Evan Dunfee, thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. Really appreciate it.
So if everything goes to plan, we're just over about a month away from the opening ceremony. I will be co-hosting CBC's coverage of that event from Japan. Join me on Friday, July 23rd. A community in Nova Scotia is hoping to pull off something that's never been done before.
One town can make a difference. We're not a very big town, but this is transformational.
And they're hoping that transformation could help inspire others. What they're up to next.
I'm Jamie Poisson, and tomorrow on CBC's daily news podcast, Front Burner, the stories of some who lived and died at the Kamloops Indian Residential School. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts.
Welcome back. Antigonish, Nova Scotia, home to 4,300 people, is known for many things. It is the home of St. Francis Xavier University and the site of the longest-running Highland Games outside of Scotland. But it wants to be known as Canada's first net zero emissions community. And as Kayla Hounsell shows us, it is almost there.
So this is the heat pump that we had installed.
Martin McLaren jumped at the chance when his town offered to help set up a greener source of heat.
Our house was heated with the electric heat, and it wasn't very efficient.
It's just one of the ways the town of Antigonish is trying to go green, 100%.
It's attainable, and we know it's attainable.
The mayor says right now 84% of Antigonish's energy is renewable. She admits her town has a head start because it has its own electric utility. It also owns a wind farm, which generates 40% of its power.
That's 40% we didn't have to buy off of another company. So that enables us to make sure that we're going green.
The town is also planning to install electric vehicle chargers and solar gardens. The mayor says all of it will not only help this community achieve emissions goals, but the entire province and the country.
One person can make a difference, one block can make a difference, one town can make a difference. We're not a very big town, but this is transformational.
The next move is targeting the biggest emissions producer here, St. Francis Xavier University.
We double the size of the Antigonish area when our students are back in town.
The university has already installed solar panels and geothermal heating in new buildings. The problem is its central heating plant.
We use a very dirty fuel source. It's run by bunker C oil, 2,500 vehicles off the street if we could get rid of it.
The plan is to build a new plant powered by the wind farm and hydroelectricity. Most of the plans help the pocketbook too. McLaren says his heat pump saved him $500 in the first 4 months.
I think it's a great thing, for this small town that we are to try to be leaders within our country.
There are other Canadian communities with similar goals. Antigonish is happy to be in the race and welcomes healthy competition for the greater good. Kayla Hounsell, CBC News, Antigonish, Nova Scotia. After decades together as colleagues, these two firefighters are planning their lives post-career. But their relationship goes beyond fighting fires, their romance and retirement story in our moment. After 22 years of working together, it's pretty safe to say these two Nova Scotia firefighters know each other pretty well. But if you think that's long, the pair have been married for even longer, 49 years, and now the couple is ready for a brand new adventure. Their retirement is our moment.
We're hoping to be honorary members, and we'll be here, but when we hear that fire whistle go, our heart's going to be with them. 22 years ago, my husband, we've been married for 49 years. He's been in the fire department, and he spent 90% of his time at the fire hall. So I said, well, if you can't beat him, join him, and that's what I did.
I was planning on retiring for a while, but they talked me into staying for another term.
It's hard to let go. We've spent so many years with these guys. This is what we're going to miss. But again, we've got children out in Alberta, and hopefully if everything calms down with COVID, we're hoping to go out there and spend it with them for 3 or 4 months. We have some good new members coming up, and hopefully they'll be able to carry on from where we left off.
Okay, so you heard Michael there say that he wanted to retire previously and that people made him stay on. I guess the thing is he also wanted to stay. He did not want to leave before he'd finished fundraising for a brand new truck. That is a dynamic duo. Thank you, you two. Have fun. That is a national for June the 14th. Good night.